Hey folks, welcome to another shelf by shelf video, and I've got to sit on the floor for this one because if I was to use the chair and bend down, I think my spine would crack in 3 places. So, I'm going to be on the floor for this one, and I'm moving down to this one, shelf number 9, going in a slightly different direction than before. 4 games again. You can ignore this because this is the Villagers playmat with some promo cards. It just fit quite nicely in that cubby hold, so, I've got Villagers. You'll hear about that on a subsequent video. So let's have a look at Game Salute first. This is completely unique publishers across the board, 1 game from each. Alien Frontiers. Move over Kingsburg. Screw you, forget, it's so generic, can't remember. Marco Polo, yes. Move over Marco Polo, whatever, don't like that game. Alien Frontiers is my choice for the dice, kind of that dice placement, do stuff with them, the area control game. I love this one. I mean, it's got a great look to it, looks great on the board, great components, the nice cool dice, wooden pieces, the little plastic dome things, really nice, and I didn't get those stupid rocket dice, they were ridiculous, but this one is just straight up, put your dice on the various locations based on where they can go, like some need 3 of a kind, 2 of a kind, sequential order, you can block each other's spaces, you can get more dice, you can cash in dice, and you're trying to get your colonist hubs on this planet so that you get special abilities, but you need the points for area control. And you can get tech cards and other cool stuff. This is really what I like from the dice placement. I don't know what you would call them. I guess they're just called dice placement games. But everybody loads on about Marco Polo. It's so generic. Contracts are the way to go. And, well, unless the stars align for you with travel, then fair enough. But I just don't like that game. It just feels too generic, no theme whatsoever. Kingsburg I like, but I've kind of got bored with it now. I'm just sort of done with it. But with this one, I still get a kick out of this. It's a little long for what it is. I mean, 90 minutes is a typical length for this game. But I just feel it gives me a lot more interesting stuff to do. And it has a much more interesting theme, despite the fact that, yes, it is essentially dice placement. Okie doke. Let's move on to another one which could leave the collection at some point because it's just hard to get it to the table. Yellow and Yangzi. I really don't know how you pronounce it, and I've had people quote to me every now and again about the T and stuff like that. I'm just going to call it Yellow because frankly it's a lot easier for me. Grail Games, Vincent Dutrait's gorgeous artwork. This is effectively the re-implementation of Tigris and Euphrates, kind of like the sequel. And it's the same kind of game, you're trying to get pagodas on the map, and you're putting your 4 leader tokens down to trigger abilities, and you're putting the coloured tiles on a hex map. Yeah, sound familiar? It's essentially Tigris and Euphrates, except that one used squares, this one used his hexes. But I prefer this one because of the artwork, but 2, because the rules with the pagodas and what each colour tile does, I feel are more balanced in this one. The other game has a bit too much luck where drawing the right tiles is kind of the way to go. If you draw the right tiles, you're going to do better. But in this one, yes, you have an element of that, but the pagoda scoring is done better, and there is one colour of tile which allows you to draw tiles from a tableau, so a face-up tableau. So there is a way to mitigate the draw luck a bit. But I just think this one works slightly better than the Tigris and Euphrates one, even though I like both. I got rid of Tigris and Euphrates, and this is the one I decided to keep. It really doesn't hit the table much, though. I mean, it is difficult to get dry Euros to the table, and especially as this is quite a strategic one. And that's kind of the problem I have. If they're difficult to get to the table, then eventually they start withering out of my collection. But I have a soft spot for this. I want to hang on to this as long as I can. Okay, right, here we go, big beastie one here. This ain't leaving the collection anytime soon. Western Legends, yes, from Colossal Games. This is sandbox Western game in a box. You will not find a more thematic Western game anywhere, as far as I'm aware. And if anybody out there dares to say Great Western Trail, you troll. But with this one, huge thing. I mean, here, you're trying to get to a certain amount of victory, legendary points, but how you do it, entirely up to you. You're going to rustle cattle? Do it. You're going to go play poker? Do it. You're going to shoot each other up? Do it. Duel? Do it. Rob people? Do it. Rob the bank? Do it. Be a marshal and catch criminals and bandits? Do it. Buy lots of cool gear to level yourself up? Do it. Get your mount? Do it. And go find gold? Do it. There's basically so much you can do in here. But I love this mechanic where all your actions and how you do poker and duels and that is done by a set of poker cards. It brings me back to an old I think it's still going actually. An RPG I used to play, Deadlands, where it was kind of the occult, Cthulhu-ish type stuff. Well, not Cthulhu, but you know, occult, supernatural mixed with the Wild West. Such a good system, but it used to use a poker deck to do your like rolls and to do your hits and stuff. You know, much better than the D20 system. And this one is similar. It's got those cards. This is now being blinged up with not an insert. I don't think I've inserted it now, but it's got all the Kickstarter stuff in there. So it's got the wooden shelves, it's got the extras and that. So now I can go rob a train, I can go to a different city, I can play high stakes poker, I can do all sorts of stuff, and it just has sung so well with friends of mine that we're happy to play this with 5 and 6 players, and we don't care how long it takes. It just is a good thematic experience. And somewhere in one of those tubes I have got a play mat for this, which is, I think it's in one of those tubes, I don't know, because it is quite a large mat. Maybe I put it somewhere else, I don't know, but I better find it actually. But oh my god, the playmat for this is huge! So ridiculously huge, but I can't wait to get it to the table. It's a good one. Love it. And Broom Service. Yes, I give Alexander Pfister a bit of shtick because I'm not a fan of most of his heavy games, although, come on, Maracaibo, give me a break. But I said I like his lighter stuff. Now this one, I think he co-designed this one, so I don't know how much involvement he had specifically, because it's also got Andreas Pelikan on the top, but Alexander Pfister, his name's on the title, and I like Broom Service. Broom Service is kind of gives me that kind of Citadel's Fiduti style, a game where you have role cards that you play, and your witches flying around this landscape trying to dump your potions in various places. And different places need different colour potions, you need the ingredients to make them, but you've got to traverse through clouds and stuff. But the cool mechanic with this is you have these role cards. Everybody's got the same role cards, but you play them simultaneously. And the idea is that when you play them down, you have... Well, actually, no, I don't think you play them simultaneously. I'm trying to remember. It's been a while. I think you play them one at a time. But you basically come out and say, I am the druid, let's say. I am the druid, and you have a choice of a cowardly or strong action. If you do the cowardly action, it always goes off, but it's weaker. But if you really need the action, you do cowardly. But if you think you're the only one on the table who has that in their chosen hand, because you have all those rolls, but you only pick so many for each round, if you think you're the only druid there, you can say, I am the strong druid, and that means you get a really good action, but you don't trigger it until it goes round the table and you certify that nobody else also took the druid, because if they do, they can come out and say, I'm the strong druid, get off. You know, and it's so great tension. It works great 2-player, works great 5-player. It scales by taking certain cards out of the game, but it looks really nice, really colourful, very simple rules, but my god, is it frustrating as all get out when somebody's like, I am the strong cloud fairy or whatever it is. Good. We're good. Oh, I'll kill you! You know, somebody puts that cloud fairy, the one before you puts that cloud fairy down, nicks your ability. Oh, it can be frustrating. But, I mean, it won the Kennerspiel. It either won the Kennerspiel or it was nominated. Try to read it. But it's a really cool game. This is, like I say, Alexander Pfister, when he's involved with smaller games, I like his stuff. It's just when he gets into heavier games, I'm not a fan. So, whew, that's another shelf. Next one, we'll be talking about this glorious one. I think we're kind of averaging 4 games a shelf here, although there are some exceptions. But yeah, glad you're enjoying them, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care.